everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We're all set to bring you a terrific contest here as these two divisional rivals renew acquaintances for the first time this season. There's always a little something extra at stake when these teams face off. It's the Falcons going up against the Saints. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M. It's Ryan Tannehill.
I think one of the things I like about Ryan Tannehill's game is that he understands what his receivers are looking for downfield. He played that position at Texas A&M before becoming the starting quarterback. So a lot of times when he's in the pocket looking downfield, he's actually running the routes with the receivers as he remembers them.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And Justin Coleman brings him down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
On second down, here's Tannehill. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Shields. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't. My good friend, I'm just going to pose the question to you. Did that look like a pass that he should have thrown?
Now, the rookie probably needs to be a little bit more careful in these situations.
Yeah, that throw would turn him into a veteran quicker, but not in the way that he wants. He wants to learn his lessons by making good throws, not throws like that.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Finding time. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on third. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack, trying to get away but could not. So now on fourth down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And I don't don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They'll get 19 yards there. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield toward deep.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It's the big offseason signing from Miami, Olivier Vernon, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Coleman, what a spin. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Olivier Vernon is a defensive end that combines terrific run-stopping ability with a quick first step to the passer.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They will run again with Coleman. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Falcons set to get things rolling on defense again here. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Saints are going to get a first down.
That was a really nice job there, stretching zone coverage by running that route deep enough before breaking it back towards the sideline and being open.
And a precise, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And this one through the uprights and good. So we played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 7-all is the score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Tyreek Hill on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Off play action, Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense. One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looks pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And able to find Garcon. They get 14 yards there and a 1st down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they built that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And on the catch, it's Andre Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Stills, right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually, but first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got time. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump start.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dwight Lowry. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Brandon Bolden that time, the one he was trying to get it to. And it brings up 4th down.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
James has got it. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. The final shot here before the break. Tannehill surveying the field. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Saints have to like how they've played so far. The Falcons were fantastic last week, but today's game shows you have to bring it every week in the NFL. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Falcons now late in the first quarter. Coleman's going to stay between the tackles, and he'll run it in from 9 yards out. That puts them up by a touchdown. Saints now late in the first. The pass complete out of the gun. And a quick three-play drive ends with a score. Saints tied up at 7. Saints have it at the 42. Here the pass goes to the sidelines. He ends up picking up a yard before heading out of bounds. Saints would later kick a field goal. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
This fielded at the 2. Oh, nice move. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And that one results in 35 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now back to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding time. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 4th down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Tannehill now to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble. What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Let's go! 3-19! They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They run with Taliaferro. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch him.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Tannehill now to throw. He's got time. It's Hill, complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right? Whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Tannehill. And Hill with it over the middle. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry out. Now it's Tannehill. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a 1-score game. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the carry, it's Taliaferro. And he's going to... And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for New Orleans, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.